Oops. Hello. Here we are. Oh, I have an audio issue here. Can you turn the volume down? Okay. This is crazy. Hi, welcome. This is the first time I'm live stream. Please turn it off. I'm coming out of my computer. Please turn off the volume. Okay, well, it looks like I may have to do this myself. Okay. Hi, Denise. Oh, you are Cuchi watching. Oh, okay, I don't have a glass for you, but I have my cup of coffee. All right, let's see if we can fix this technical issue. You're not trying. That was all you needed to do. All right. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh, I had audio in my computer and it's coming through, but I'm back. All right. So I thank you for being here, and I thought this was a great way because nobody needs to be on a specific social media platform to do the live. And so I'm going to start by explaining what actually is being posted. But so as a reminder, since like you know, the Sarab Mirage started like when I started teaching, like back in like 2001, 2002. But then we stopped. However, in 2015, I started bringing the group back to life again. And since then, we've been very active. And every year, there's been a little bit of a different approach, depending on the opportunities and who was participating. The last year, for example, was particularly different because I had a grant that was kind of a big project to do a big show in a big theater. So that was very different, and I work with a little different approach than in other times. But right now, I would say this is mostly for locally based dancers. Local means that you could come to Boston often. Most of the times we rehearse in Cambridge, and some of the main events we have planned are actually in Cambridge. So we're gonna start. So I'm calling this as a Mirage Dance Company experience because the idea is, you know, since we have I have an experience putting this together, so I'm trying to make it, I want to build it in a way that contributes to your experience, like a program. If you are already experienced in troupe dancing, that's great, but I'm confident that you will get something out of this because of my experience putting this together. So the idea would be to start very early in March and go through midsummer. I know the main event I already have the schedule would be in June 8th. And then it's in Cambridge, for example. So, as I said, so the idea is that the program offers training in performance skills. Now, this would be as true performance. So this is not to expect that this is going to be individual training. So for individual solo dancer training, I offer another program that right now we're finishing with the previous one, but I'm going to have another opening soon, hopefully, if there is enough interest. And I call that the Performer Development Program. That is for the soloist who wants to do a solo, who wants to build a career or a hobby, or just get yourself out there and perform solo. That's different because this is group dancing. This is performance as a troupe, and there is choreography, and there is a group on stage. The smallest that it usually gets is a duet, It depends. It will depend because I don't know how many people are going to be getting in. So I don't have a specific rigid program of what we will perform. I will kind of adapt to who comes in and joins. So as of now, then I still believe this is a training in how to perform in a group, and we would have periodic rehearsals in preparations for, as I said, at least 2 performances. I know we'll have, and I will be looking for more. There may be more, or even creating a performance opportunity. If depends on the energy I get from everybody. All right. So now, as I said, it's not training for solo performers, which would be my other program, the performer development program, and it's also not training as in technique. I mean, I could make technical corrections when we are in the rehearsal, but I'm not going to be teaching moves. So that's why basically you commit that you're working on your technical advancement and your technical, like, staying sharp by attending classes. Usually in other years, I requested people to attend my classes because it's the easiest way to know that you're getting all the moves that we need. However, I am fine if you attend another program as far as you show me, like, yes, I'm attending class with such and such teacher, and I see that that's somebody who has a similar vocabulary of moves. Because if it's something like, I don't know, tribal, ATS, it might not be the same vocabulary. So then your training, it would be very hard to learn the choreographies without Egyptian or Arabic. It could be Egyptian, Lebanese, any Arabic belly dance training. All right, so that's why I'm asking that people must commit to keep attending classes. If you attend with me, I think actually it's good because sometimes we can, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't want to kill any birds, but just it's the same. I have a technical issue. Do you think it's not clear? I think it's fine. Okay, I'm told to put the microphone in here. Let's try. Hopefully you are hearing me better. And okay, so now I think after this.
Speak less now. I speak lower.
Yes, but you need to turn that volume off. Technical support here. All right. So if I can get the first question. I can't see the questions from here. What was the first question? It's coming. Okay, I'm trying to get the first question. I can't. Okay, can I get that? It's coming. First question, please. All right, so if I don't get the first question, meanwhile, let me see if there was... Yes, so that's why I said, if you're attending classes elsewhere, you could just let me know and just, you have to tell me what's your plan. All right, so I'm going to get this now. All right, so hello, Denise. I already said hello in the chat, and hello, Paola. And Minnie. Hi, Minnie. Then...
I think it's
okay. There is some things about... All right.
I think it's Miney.
Okay. Hi, Miney. Sorry, I probably said your name wrong. All right. So I don't know. I don't see questions. So if you can please write what your questions would be. So then, what are we expected to do during the audition? Great. So then, perfect. So let's go into the audition. First of all, for audition, as I said, you are asked to just come in, bring in rehearsal clothes, expect to dance, and please bring all of these that you have. If you have a veil, bring the veil. If you have finger cymbals, bring the finger cymbals. If you have a cane, bring a cane. Okay, and we will probably, so I will, it's kind of in a class setting, I will submit, I will submit in, I will present some combos, short combos, and you will have to do it. It's like basically as if you're in a class and you learn a combo, and maybe there's gonna be a little less of me doing it with you. I will explain, and then I will look and see what you got out of it. There are maybe 2 or 3 combos. And then the time that I have set for this is an hour and a half. So the idea, maybe we'll have 5 minutes for warm-ups, and then we might have these combos. And at the end, I would have the individual auditions. So what you should come prepared to do is you choose something you want to present, like it would be 1 minute long. I'm saying 1 minute, you better off if you want to prepare 2 minutes, because I don't know how many people are going to show up. So I just want to make sure there is time for everybody. It should be no less than 1 minute. And if you prepare 2 minutes, maybe there is time to do 2 minutes, because I don't know that I'm going to have so many people. So prepare something between 1 and 2 minutes. Maybe if it's too many people, I will just cut at 1. So you need to prepare, first choose the piece of music. And it doesn't have to have the props, because I probably, if I'm interested in particular props, I will put them in the combos. So it doesn't have to have necessarily props. Probably better if you don't have props in that, because I want to see your technique and your musicality. So you choose that piece. It doesn't have to be a 2-minute piece. You can choose a longer piece, but you will cut it after those 2 minutes, and you just perform to the part that you chose to do. So you choose that piece of music, and you could choreograph something yourself or improvise if you feel comfortable improvising. Now, since like learning choreography is important, I'm not going to judge you as a choreographer. In the learning choreography, I will see it as you absorb the information in the parts where I propose the combos. So it's not like you really need to do the super choreography, because for the troupe, I am the choreographer. So I'm not going to have you choreograph. It's more about learning choreography. So you could improvise or create your choreography, but I will judge you in the execution and the musicality, not in the choreography that you created. Now, if you create a choreography in order to present more techniques that you want to present, you have, go ahead, you know. Also, this is multi-level, and it depends on how many people participate. And if there are people who are more professional and have higher technical level, there may be opportunities for showcasing those things. So just present the best you can do. And but if you are a little more less experienced, that's still okay, because we're going to have like simpler parts, and there could be more complicated parts. It will depend on the people who really come aboard, and I will create so everybody's going to look good. So if you have more skill, I will give you more chance to show your skill. I'm probably not going to give like a whole solo performance. I can't promise that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I'm offering solos at this time, but for the right person, there may be those chances. But in general, let's consider this is troupe dancing. It could be from a duet to a big group. So in your audition, you will present as a solo, but as I said, I'm mostly looking at how you execute. Yes, Paola, Alan had to put his head there because it's always like the trademark. All right. So, great. So that does answer your question, Paola. I don't know. So prepare like for a class, bring your props, finger cymbals, veils, and cane. and then prepare the 1-2 minute piece. All right. Can you retract that comment, because that violates your privacy policy that you had with me, Alan? Really? All right. So, okay. So I don't know if Paola, if I answer your question. Yes, thank you, she said. Okay, so that's it. And one more thing about how you do this performance part of the audition. You are welcome to bring a costume if you want. If you have a costume and you want to make it, like a part of your presentation, you're welcome to do so, because you're going to be able to go and get changed and come back. But if you don't have a costume, that's okay. Now, speaking of costumes, that's another issue, because if we do have the performance, that's something that we might need to make some investment. So I have some costumes from the company, but I don't have a whole set of costumes for anything. I'm not gonna be able to provide all the costuming or end props. I do have some dresses that we can use for certain kind of dances, but that doesn't mean, so that's something that might come as a need. I usually try to be very, like budget friendly with everyone and try to find solutions that are low budget. But so I'm getting like in an issue of money, because nobody has asked. But so as I said, this year there is no grants or any other support, and most of these opportunities are like actually volunteering. So there is no. And basically, I'm trying to offer this as a program for your own development as well. I'm committing to that. So there is actually a registration to participate. And this is supposed to go March, April, June, July, sort of, and maybe we start, as soon as the beginning of, so March, April, June, July. So initially I said $200 for the entire period. And I think I'm going to actually reduce that cost to $150. And also, as I said here, if anybody has any financial hardship, like, you can, there are ways we can discuss individually if you want to show, like, I have a low income, and, I can make some discount there. And also, you do not have to pay the whole thing ahead, but you would commit maybe to a monthly payment. So I'm thinking if we do March, April, June, and if I'm gonna lower it to 150, and you can pay it ahead, or you can commit, that I will charge you 50 each month. I'm hoping that helps people, because I know it's hard sometimes to budget for all. And then, I'm covering some of the costuming, and I'm covering the rehearsal space, my time, and, and any other things that usually come sort of sometimes a little advertisement budget that we want to may want to put in there. But mostly the costly thing, like you can get past, is like the rental of the studio space for the rehearsals. That's something that your payment would contribute to. All right, so I'm getting another question, but let me finish. So with money, again, there could be a need, or we might try to work around it, but there could be a need. I might propose, if we're going to do a costume, usually we find options that are affordable, or we find a way to make it as affordable as possible, but there could be some investment for the costumes needed. And there is also a registration for the audition itself, and that is for everybody who will audition. Now, once the audition is over and I said who is in, hopefully everyone, but I have to say, because I'm going to be honest, if somebody I see, they won't be able to, get from where they are now to where I need you in June. If they're not going to get there in the 3 months period, I can tell. And that doesn't mean anything negative. It's just not a good fit for the project in the timeline we have. And then that person doesn't have to commit to the fees for the troupe, because it's not gonna. But the ones who will be accepted, if they commit, yes, I will need the tuition, and I'm going to lower it to $150. If we continue through July, I might consider like adding an extra, but we could discuss that later. But not from ahead of time, you're not committing to more than that. All right, so the audition itself is this Saturday, not tomorrow, the next one at 3. And I'm gonna send, once you register, I will send you the exact location, but it's in Cambridge and it's very accessible. And then there is an audition fee and there is an audition form. So to be registered, you need to have submitted both. So there is in the in my website, Seyyide.com. If you will find Auditions Sarab Mirage 2019 in the menu, and you click on that, and it will take you to the form. I will fill the form, but at the end there is no link to pay from there for the $10 audition fee, so you can submit it through PayPal. Unless you see me, if you see me between now and then, you can give it to me in person. We could do that. So some of you I know come to class, and I might see you. So Paola, what was your question? What was Paola's question? The time commitment. So this is, I was looking at my calendar to be prepared. Usually to be realistic, it's good to do as much as we can, but to be realistic, it's hard that people have more than, after other than class time, that, as I said, you have to commit that you're doing at least a class per week, continuing your training throughout, could be with me. So the days, considering the days I am teaching and I'm busy, I think during March, I actually think that my most likely times are Friday evenings and then the weekends. The weekends, Saturdays or Sundays. And as I have to say, since I don't own, like at this time, I don't have my own studio space. So another restriction I have, constraint, is finding the studio space. So I was trying, but I didn't want to go ahead too soon. But I was looking at dates I am free, and I have to check about studio space. So the earliest that we could start would be, there is Friday, the 1st of March. Then there is the 2nd and 3rd of March weekend. I'm also, as of now, available. Not the studio, I haven't checked studio. Then Friday and Saturday and Sunday the following weekend. And so on. Mostly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday throughout March. Those are dates. And the idea is, like, once, what we can do is just check with everybody's schedule, and we pick and the studio, and we pick the dates that work for all. Usually we've been able to do that. You have to just try to be really flexible, that you try to make it, like an effort. It might not be the most convenient, but you try to pick all the possible times for you. And as I said, many of this is constrained by the availability of studio. Then on April, actually, I think my schedule changes. So Thursday evenings are gonna be more likely, and not Fridays. So I think my Fridays are going to become unavailable, and my Thursdays will open up in April. And still Saturdays and Sundays. I think usually Saturdays and Sundays are days where everybody, if you really enjoy doing this, you can find the time, unless some people might work on those Saturdays and Sundays. I also have some limitations on Saturdays, but I'm not sure exactly the time, my own schedule on Saturdays. But usually we're able to, go month by month and with the group. I don't think we're going to be 25 people. So I think it's easy to sort of find some consensus and book it on the dates we can all make. So I don't know, Paola, if that helped. But that would be around my possibilities right now. So as I said, weekends throughout. Sundays are usually more open than Saturdays, although that's not a given, as I said, necessarily from April on. But for now, for March, I would say Sundays are more open than Saturdays for me. And as I said, Friday evenings. And then Thursdays open for me in April. So any other questions? So Paola said about the schedule, and I hope I answered Paola. I don't know if there is any other questions. Okay, you're welcome, Paola. So I know that Jennifer said she was in a performance herself. She's going to check the video later. So I hope that I'm sort of also, I try to give information to answer possible questions I would be expecting. And I think that would be pretty much all I have to say. Also, I would say I need a minimum mass for this. So I need a certain number of people to make this happen. So I'm hoping I will have, I don't want to worry about that at this moment. So I'm getting some stuff in the chat, but it's not really questions. So anyway, so no, I already answered that question. Yes, I'm not answering that question. Thank you very much. Can you put that person on timeout, please? Thank you. All right, so I think I covered everything. And so one date that you should have free, because this is the one performance that's already there, is June 8th. And that's a Saturday. So that's a performance date. And actually, there may be two performances. If we might even have two performances on June 8th. So you would want to have that clear. If that's not clear, that would be a big issue, because that's one of our main starting, our main performances that we have, that we're preparing, that I'm more committed to. So I don't know if there's any other questions. June 8th should be free in your calendar if you are going to be part of the group, because of performances scheduled that day, maybe two of them the same day, but they would be really close to each other. So it should be, if we can't make it doable two in the day, we will have one, but one at least for sure. So one is given. So June 8th should be free in your calendars. All right, I don't know if there's any other questions. And usually, as I said, the performances, these ones are not far from Cambridge or in Cambridge, in this one. And the rehearsals would be in Cambridge. All right, so we went for like a good half an hour. And I hope I answer questions, and this is a little more, like easier than reading, like writing a whole lot of stuff. I think I'm going to change the value, because I was counting like July, so if I'm going to do it like to June, because we might just do it in a small batch, like, and just doing from up to the end of June only, and then I will correct the tuition to be a little less, because I counted more like 4 months or so when I came up with that figure there of the 200 that's in the Facebook page. But that I will correct it. I will edit the information there to be what I'm telling you now. And as I said, that could be paid in 3 installments, if that helps. But the commitment has to be done from the beginning. And all right, so if you have any more questions, or if you're catching this video later, that you're not live now to ask, you feel free to just, you can comment on the video. There is commenting on YouTube, and I should get a notification if you do so. So I would be able to, either you tell me how to get in touch with you, or I can, if it's easy, I can just answer the question on the video comments. So thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you. And if you feel like this is gonna work for you, just submit your registration. Again, you can go to the page on probably in that video on YouTube. You will find the link, or you just go on my website, seyyide.com, and then you will find the option in the menu where it says Auditions, Sarab Mirage 2019. Okay. The one thing I did not mention, the question didn't come, if anybody lives far away but is really, really interested in doing this, if it's somebody with enough experience, like that's how I work with people coming from different countries last year, people who were really, really, really experienced. We could also make some sort of a video, sharing of the choreographies. It's just not possible to do this 100%. So there should be discussed case by case, and they can and they would have to be coming not just to the performance. They will have to be able to at least make like the last rehearsal and performance or something like that, because you don't learn your staging and all that just by looking in a. You can just jump from that. That's one of the things that you need to learn as a troupe performer. Like, it's very important, everything in your surroundings, your other dancers. So that's what we're working on. But it's possible to just maybe, like if you're going to be around for like the last week, or come to, 1 or 2 rehearsals and close to the performance, and you commit to learn it at the, remotely. It might work for the person with the right training. I worked with dancers last year who came. Of course, these are dancers who have their own school, experience, really experience. And we work remotely through video, and then they came, but still, even at that level, we had a week of 5 days of rehearsal in situ. This was for a big show, so it's all a little different. But just for you to know, you can talk for that case individually. We will discuss on a case-by-case basis. But the most important thing, I think, is to offer the local dancers now the opportunity to be part of a troupe. It's a short commitment. So it's those 3 months I am expecting your full commitment. It's only 3 months you're committing for. But I want you to be in it, okay? It's not a long term. So it's now to June. And so you have to be, have the energy, like to put the most of your willpower and commitment. That's one of the most important things needed to make this work, because as working in a team, every part of the team affects what happens with the rest of the work. So we all have to give our best for the whole group to work at its best. So thank you very much. And if there are no more questions right now, is there any more questions I need to answer? Support team over there? No? All right. So I don't see any coming on the screen. So I'm going to say bye-bye. Thank you very much. And I look forward to receiving your registration and seeing you on the 23rd for the audition. Thank you. Bye. How do I end this now? Here? No. Okay, I'm learning how to.